I just want to hear your thoughts and perspectives on the dangers of surrounding yourself with people who are unfamiliar with suffering.
Yeah, I mean, it's just you live too comfortable of a life, and I don't see you achieving anything great. I think like you have to know suffering, and the artist part is a little bit different too. But I just think artists look at things differently than a regular person. So maybe you see detail where others just, maybe you look at you just see a wall where an artist would see the detail to it. Suffering also pulls back the curtain on a different type of existence. I think that if this comfortable life, avoiding pain or discomfort at all costs, I think is, I don't know, it's not going to lead to a very fulfilling life, in my opinion. So why would I spend time around people like that? I want people who have suffered, they can add something to my life. There's either the discussion or their presence, or there's just more layers to somebody who's been through more or sees things like an artist might see things. So that's what I think of there. And if you're not around people like that too, I mean, you don't know what you don't know, but I think you're missing a lot. So that's why I like these endurance events and doing what we do, being so focused on training and so focused on leaning into pain, suffering, discomfort, whether it's manufactured or it just happens in life. I just think it definitely changes you. And I don't know, suffering has made me who I am. So that's why I'm pretty protective of the power of it, I think.
Do you think there's a difference between suffering that you choose to pursue and suffering that chooses you?
Yeah, I'm sure Chris Williamson has some quote on this that ties it all together. But yeah, I mean, it's, I think what he said on my podcast, I had him carry the rock up the hill, and that's a lot of suffering there. But there's two in life. You're going to have chosen suffering and unchosen suffering, and one can prepare for the other. And so, yeah, it's definitely different, because a lot of times people, when life just happens and you're like, why me? That's usually what happens. The attitude people have is, why is this happening to me?
Like the victim mentality? The
victim mentality. But if you're accustomed to like, yeah, this sucks, this is going to hurt, but I've been through a lot of things like this. We're going to just get through this suffering, just like the other one, whether it was I created it myself or it just happened. Suffering to suffering, we're getting through it. So I think it does make you stronger regardless of how it came about.
Of all these people in your circle and outliers you've had on the podcast, is there someone who really stands out who's had the greatest impact on you, that is familiar with suffering or who's accomplished greatness, that has transformed your thoughts, ideas, perspectives?
I mean, everybody, I'm fascinated by every person for a different reason, but it's always the endurance athletes. I mean, it's a Sally, Taylor, of course, Courtney, Max, Cat Bradley. I don't know. You just have to go through so much, and it just makes, I don't know, it just makes a deeper, more impactful human, I think, when you subject yourselves willingly to challenges like that. Not many people want to do that.
Right.
But if they do, and they can, I don't know, just kind of live through it, face the fire and live through it, those are the type of people that impact me. And, out of all of them, Taylor just, he's my younger brother, so we've been through a lot. I was older, so I was like super hard on him always growing up. But aside from Taylor, probably Courtney, just because I don't know, I can't figure her out.
Can you tell when she's suffering or not?
No, I can't. Well, yeah, I've seen her struggling, really struggling, like on the Colorado Trail, when she's trying to get the fastest known time there. But normally, no. Like when she came out, we did 3 days, we did 100 miles. I think we did, something like 20 summits in 3 days. Never saw her one time tired, anything other than smiling. I'm miserable pretty much the whole time. Maybe not the first half of the first day, but yeah, I just don't know. Cause like, if you look at, maybe time, like, I don't know what her fastest time would be on a marathon, but whatever, probably fast now, but speed wise, maybe we're about the same, right? Just say that. How can she just keep doing these 9-minute miles in the mountains forever? How? If it's physical, I mean, I got more muscle. We can run short distance the same. How? I don't know how she can just keep doing that. So she fascinates me on just getting in that. She talks like a robot. She wants to be a robot one step at a time. She talks about her pain cave. We talked about that in great detail recently on my podcast, where she's not thinking about running. She's thinking about just hitting this chisel with a hammer.
I'd be curious if I could just put myself in her
body
during that experience.
That was one question one of my guys had. They, like my camera guys, they come up with questions at the end. It's like, one of the questions for her was, if you could change brains with anybody at the end of an ultra, who would it be? And then I was like nobody'd want my brain, because if you had my brain, you'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? But I would like to have her brain, because I just don't get it. I just don't understand how she can she's hurting, everybody hurts, but just keep pushing. And it's like, if you think of Moab, which you know Moab, but race Max won. She won it. That was the first race. First time I met her was 2017. Well, she was won by 10 hours. Nobody even knew who she was, or some people did. I didn't know who she was, but won by 10 hours over the field. And if you got a big lead in an ultra and it's day 3 or whatever day that was, and you're up by, say 3 hours, you're not going to be pushing hard. You're going to win by hours.
Right.
She was still pushing. Nobody's pushing her. She's going to win anyway. Why wouldn't she be okay with winning by 4 hours? Why'd she have to push and win by 10? That's what I want to know. Because it's easy to push if somebody's right here. You're like sprinting. I mean, I had this 8K I just did earlier this year, and me and this guy just sprint. That is easy. When nobody's there and the goal was to win, and you're going to win, why are you still pushing? That's a special person.
How does she respond to that?
I don't know. She says, well, she'll always say, like, she doesn't care about competition. She doesn't care about whatever. She's just she wants to learn more about herself, push herself. She wants to do the best she can do. It's never about anybody else, which she's probably so pure. That's probably true. That would never be true with me. It'd be like, I want to beat everybody, and I want them to know I'm beating them. So I'm maybe not as pure as her, obviously. But I think for her, it's genuinely just wants to do her very best, wants to know what is the limit of her potential. I think that's just 100%. She's 100% honest with that. And it's beautiful to hear, because I don't get it, because it's not me at all. But I'm just fascinated by that mindset.